Hey, and welcome to the first in a new series called Case Study Question Time, where I take the questions that colleagues, clients, and members of the various communities I'm involved with ask me questions about case studies. And rather than answering them on a one-to-one basis, I want to give people the benefit of the answer to the question that's been posed. So the first question has come from a lovely gentleman called Eugene at the Content Marketing Academy. And excuse me looking away from the camera while I go and just check that I am representing Eugene's question well enough. So the question was, are testimonials and case studies in the consideration or the decision phase? So again, so everyone's got the context here. I talk about four kind of stages in content marketing, and specifically in relation to the sales process. Okay, so I talk about awareness, I talk about consideration, I talk about conversion, and I talk about retention. Those are the four, and other people use different language. Eugene in his question talks about decision. I use the word conversion. It's the same thing. It's essentially the same thing. So let's talk about those briefly, and then I'll get into the specific answer to the question. So when we look at awareness, this is really about educational content. This is free content. This is blogs. This is videos. This is email newsletters. This is free initial touch points where people can really, yes, become aware of you, but also see that you can deliver value with your free content. There's an awful lot of free content out there, some good, some bad. If your free content can deliver huge value, then you are going to start that relationship off on a really, really positive foot. Then we come on to the consideration phase. Consideration is as it suggests, you've spent a bit of time with your content, and now your interest is piqued in this individual, in their products and their services. So it might be that they spend time looking at your kind of product description, your service description. They might want to see some examples. So if it was a piece of software, they might want to see it in action. So maybe some product demos, some service demos. And this is also the stage where, for me, testimonials come in. Okay, so this is where we start to see maybe a product description, and then alongside it, here's a testimonial from someone that has engaged, purchased as a user of the product or the service that you are selling. And this is the first piece of social proof that actually this isn't just a product description, this is a product that actually works. So again, quite short, quite snappy testimonials have their place in there. You also have, and I am looking to the right here because I've got some notes up here. So you also have, so we've got the how-tos, the demos, we've got the kind of product service descriptions, and then the testimonials are kind of what overlays that. Then we come into the conversion phase. Now, the conversion phase for me is hugely important. It's the point at where initial interest is going to become a decision. It's that conversion point. Are they going to buy? Are they not going to buy? And for me, that's where case studies come in. So case studies are fuller versions of a testimonial. Testimonials are great and they're really powerful and they're quick and they're snappy and they give people the confidence, I think, to read on. But depending on how valuable the product or service is you're buying, I think you need more than a short testimonial. Because short testimonials, as powerful as they can be, they grab attention, but they don't provide one critical thing, and that's context. They don't give the context. So the case study should be the fuller story. It should be the warts and all story of someone's experience with the product. And importantly, it's about the change. It's about illustrating the change. So here was the hero of our story at the start, and this was their problem, and here they are at the end, changed in some way because of the solution that they have been working through with you. That's the key thing. There has to be a change. There has to be a change. And again, if you're spending maybe £50, maybe a testimonial is all you need. If it's an information product and there's a few testimonials, maybe that's all you need. But if you're selling a solution that is worth $10,000, $50,000, £100,000, then I think people will invest more time to read case studies. And those are the key things for really converting. How else can you do that? You can use reviews, again, depending on the product and service type. Maybe reviews would be a big factor for you. But there's also something in this, as well as case studies, as well as reviews, for me in the conversion stages, round about this whole idea of onboarding. So this is about how seamlessly this is going to happen. This is about illustrating how easy the process is. And again, you can do that in case studies as well, but you could do that as a separate video that says this is how simple we make the whole process of working with us. Okay, so that's awareness, consideration, and conversion. And then we have retention. So retention really is one of those things that content-wise we don't often look into and we kind of take for granted. But for me, it's critically important. There's stats that everyone will know that it costs less to retain than it does to get new clients. So what kind of content can you serve for retention purposes? Well, it can be special offers that are exclusively for your clients. It can be enhancements. So maybe it could be a special webinar that is just exclusively for people who already have the product. So it's maybe advanced user information. It's maybe, if it's a service, it's an advanced webinar that explains how to take the knowledge they've got a little bit further. So it's showing them the love, it's showing them the appreciation. It's a hat tip for their commitment for being a client of yours. Trying to think anything else that I've got here. Yeah, it's about that kind of getting more from what you've already given them. And it's about just making sure that those touch points are regular, that you're having that communication. So that's the four things. So the question specifically was, where do testimonials and case studies come into the piece? So testimonials for me can come in at any stage, but for me, awareness and consideration. So if I see a testimonial early, I then get the confidence that this person can do what they say they can do. I'm at least encouraged and I feel safe that I'm not the only one and that I'm not taking a huge punt on this. But the difference between the testimonial and the case study is that once we get further through that process, so we've got the awareness, we're now considering it, we're now at the point of conversion, I think we need more than just a little testimonial. I think, and again, directly tied to the value of the product or the service, the higher the product, the higher the value. If it's a contract, a 12-month contract, and it's £1,000 a month, £12,000 is a lot of money. I know myself, I wouldn't just read a little testimonial, make a decision based on that. I would have to know more. And if case studies didn't exist, I would want to actually speak to some of their existing clients. So that's the role of the case study, is to take that out of the equation, to serve them that information, to give them the confidence to say yes. To go, do you know what? That person's problem is my problem, and it was solved by them. So maybe, just maybe, it could be solved for me as well. So that's the difference between the testimonial and the case study. I am not discounting testimonials. I think testimonials are a good thing. And here's another little tip. In your content, sometimes you might have a sales page, or you might have a piece of content, and you might have a short paragraph that is the testimonial. If you've got a fuller case study off the back of that, you can have that short snippet, that soundbite from your client, that testimonial, but you can also have a little thing that says read more, or to read the full story. So let's consider it was me and I have a testimonial for somebody. To read the rest of Kevin's story, click here, and it takes you to another post, blog post, or a web page, whatever it might be, for that specific case study. So you've got that short, snappy bit, but you've got the opportunity to direct people to the fuller case study, because some people might want to know more. Some people probably will want to know more about the context. So listen, hopefully that answers Eugene's question. If you've got any questions, then please send me an email. It's kevin@thestoryedge.co.uk. Or if you prefer, leave a comment in the video. You can get me on Facebook. You get me on Twitter, at Kev Anderson on Facebook and at Kev Anderson on Twitter. Just ask any question, and if I can answer it, I will answer it, and I'll do it in a video like this. So listen, thanks for watching the very first episode of Case Study Question Time with me, your host, Kev Anderson. Have a great day. Now do me a favour, go away and tell some stories. Goodbye.